Hello there everybody, my name is jnxette and today we are playing Warped Reality. Warped Reality is a visual novel game that I found on Steam, and I asked you guys on Twitter if you guys were interested in seeing me play some more like dating sim, otome games, like visual novel-esque games, and you guys said yes. So let's get right into the game. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. As the clock strikes midnight, the sky explodes into fire. Only that isn't fire. Oh, they're fireworks. Look at that. That's so cool. It's all holographic, majestic explosions, streaking stars, and all the colors of a rainbow. A pretty good imitation of Aurora Borealis in between all that. Very unsubtle advertisements for the latest model of Toyota's Excellence Series limousine. Happy New Year. Happy 2065. Oh man, 2065, guys. The year I'm going to make it big. By the end of this year, I'm going to make at least as much money as Toyota Magnetic Cars paid for the exclusive rights to Detroit Sylvester skies. Maybe even including the cash it took to remove all the clouds up there. They removed the clouds? Am I thinking big? Hell yes I am. You won't make it unless you do. Not today, not any longer. By the end of this year, the megacorps are going to beg me to sell to them. OmniSense will be sorry they didn't consider hiring me back then. Now someone else is going to publish it. My creation, my baby, the virtual machine. True virtual reality without the need for a neural implant. Full pentasensory output, and it all goes through the optic nerve. As long as you can see, you will also be able to hear, touch, smell, and taste. I had the idea in college, second semester. A seminar on bioelectronics where they discussed the possible bandwidth of data you can transfer through human nerves. With the right kind of stimulation, the theoretical bandwidth is huge, monstrous, equivalent to an optic fiber cable with a diameter of 2 inches. More than enough to run all senses for a virtual reality simulation through it, if you're able to figure out the right data protocol. And I have it. I finally have it. I spent the last 8 months working on it, but now it's complete. It works. I already tested it. In fact, I spent so much time testing it that I would have almost forgotten the appointment I have tonight. But that's the good thing about New Year's Eve. It has a way of bringing midnight to your attention. I grab my jacket and head out for the kitsunegari. That was a hard word to say. As I walk down the stairs from my room on the 62nd floor, I sigh a little. Still, putting it all together without access to some fancy quantum supercomputer or even a fully equipped workshop, that must count for something. It was me, a Bosch Sony workbench and my trusty Mirai 1001 multi-tool, plus a lot of spare parts that I was able to buy cheaply. It was probably the hardest thing I ever did. It's not as if I ever built my own microelectronic devices before. I've been fiddling around with this stuff since I was 7, and I built my own hologlobe when I was 9. All by myself. Not just a set of pre-sorted parts you simply put together. I went to garage sales, I climbed into dumpsters, heck, I even went to the ruins of Stafford superconductors to scavenge for parts. Yeah, so I took a little risk. And I got a full set of Tachyon series circuit boards from it. No risk, no reward. Though I probably wouldn't take risks like that anymore. After all, I'm no longer 9 years old. In any case, I am where I am today because I never stopped improving on my skills. And look where it got me. I got the prototype of my virtual machine to work. I really got it to work, all on my own. Now all I need is enough cash to get it out into the market. As I step into the streets, that is what my thoughts mostly revolve around. Money and how to earn it. Not many legal ways to do that these days. And some employment outside tech, Yutani Enterprise offers citizenship to almost everybody. They pay well, and they are pretty generous about leaving their citizens some privacy. However, working on the moon, not really something I consider. So it all boils down to the usual, find some independent contractor jobs. Hopefully those of the adequately paid kind, the kitsunegari. But if you were born in Detroit, there's no chance you would have made it through your teens without getting brain flashed at the kitsunegari at least once. Maybe it's a little unfair to put it like that. The kitsunegari isn't just another hangout for flashheads. In fact, it's probably the most important place for exchanges between webbers and people offering jobs for webbers all throughout Detroit. It's just that the kitsunegari's bad reputation isn't entirely undeserved. See, do you see these? Like, this art is so pretty. Like, I love the coloring and, like, just the light. The way they make everything seem so illuminated. It's so pretty. Happy New Year, Jotun. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. By the way, if I say any of these words wrong or names wrong, please let me know in the comments down below so I can say them properly. No idea how long Jotun's been here, but he gives off the impression that he's always been here, and he'll always be here. Timeless, like a rock or something like that, or at the very least, as unshakable. The kitsunegari sure sees its share of shady people, but as far as I know, there's never been a fight in here. Jotun's presence alone has been enough to make the people reconsider any sort of aggressive behavior. Really? He seems like he's like a soft guy on the inside. Like a soft boy. Any messages for me? Jotun shakes his head in amusement, and he's right. Why would someone leave me a message? I'm just another webber to these people here. Just one in a crowd of too many people capable of coding web applications. Sure, that's going to change as soon as I get the virtual machine out, but until that happens... Immediately an advertisement pops up. 5 times the data limit for all of January the 1st if you use Omnis to pay for terminal use. Well, sorry about that, fellas. No corporation currency on my cred chip. Just good old-fashioned dollars. No Solari, no fresh wowzas, and certainly no frickin' Omnis from frickin' Omnisense. Okay, so I guess that's like the new currency. So, we use in... America, we use dollars, there's euros, pounds, pesos, yen, things like that. So I'm assuming this far into the future, we've progressed, or in the story at least, they've progressed into using like bitcoins and calling them different things based off of their, their company. The length of these corps go to make you install their money on your devices. It's insane. Information on cash flow can't possibly be worth that much. Or can it? At least we've now gone over almost a year without corp currency crashing someone's cred chip, or even worse, someone's PID. I can't imagine how bad it must be for a citizen of some megacorp to have their personal identification device bricked out. Wow, you're really moody today, aren't you? Oh, hi there. Didn't see you coming. Yeah, that's what it looked like. You were totally blanking out in front of that screen. Ads that interesting? Of course not. Just thinking. Thinking? Yeah. Not brooding over how all the good jobs are already taken, huh? None of your business, Leet. She's cute. But you can call me Leet anyway? Shit, she's right. I shouldn't have done that. Wait, is that supposed to mean... Wait, what is that? What is that supposed to mean something? Sorry, I didn't mean to. It just slipped out, and... I thought we had an agreement. I thought we didn't want to remind each other of... Of what? Wait, of what? Is that like her old name? We have an agreement. Really, it was an accident. Please, Syl, an accident. She looks at me, and I can still see the anger in her eyes. I can understand her. She's right. I promise never to use that name again. It's her real name, Oh, Leet, short for Letitia. Letitia. She usually goes by the name of Silverslip or Syl for her friends. Syl's one of the best webbers I know. Dedicated, skillful, and reliable, and if she was a little better at tooting her own horn, she'd already be an executive-level citizen at some major tech corp. She and I were together once a few years ago. Not for long, just long enough to find out that it didn't really work. However, in practice, there was a less physical attraction between the two of us than I first thought. I mean, Syl is really cute, I won't deny it, but she's not really hot, if you know what I mean. In hindsight, I suppose I shouldn't have told her that to her face. Can't really blame her for being angry because of that. Still, we both got over it, and today we're even friends again. Mostly. Look, Sil, I appreciate the thought, I really do. It's good to know someone gives a damn about how you're feeling. And please believe me, angering you was the last thing I had in mind. Sil looks at me and I can see her anger slowly fading away. She's always been quick to anger, but equally quick to forgive. So what is it that brings you here tonight? You guessed it, looking for work. Still nothing major to report from the VMware Limited? VMsoft Limited, the company I registered for the marketing the virtual machine once it's ready. I smile. Well, I suppose it's not really quite the right time for a major press release, but you can expect to see my brand take off pretty soon, within the next few weeks if I'm lucky. Hey, that's good news. So you're finally getting through that, how did you call it, roadblock of roadblocks? Even better. I am through. You are? It's all working. The prototype is complete. Congratulations. Thanks. Any chance you are now telling me what the big deal about it is? I fully enjoy this moment and show her my widest possible grin. Nope. Aw, come on. You've been teasing me for so long now and... Sorry, Sil. No chance. Not before I get it registered. Pretty please, just a few details. Really? No, I can't. I'll even give you one of those jobs I scored tonight. A good one. Protein folding for the Miyashima. Whoa. That is a good job. Miyashima pays more than decently, and it's even non-trivial work. Not the usual boring menial code monkey tasks. I'm seriously considering taking Sil's offer if it's serious money. How much does it pay? 8.4 Imperial Yen, that is. That's almost $1,000, and not even corp currency. Really not shabby. I really didn't want to tell anybody about my innovation, but this is a really good opportunity. I could really use the money, and it's not as though Sil's going to be able to do anything with just the information. It took me months to work out the protocol. She couldn't replicate my work just by knowing what it is. Still, I really wanted to keep this a secret. Now what do I do? Actually, I honestly would take the offer because I feel like because if you're just giving information about it, like general information, I don't know what he's going to say. I've never played this before, but I think if he takes her offer, he would be able to he'd be able to benefit off of it instead of keeping it to himself. Because, he really needs that money, and I think starting sooner rather than later may be better. I'm not sure. I don't know. 8,000 yen for 400 impians, right? 8.4. Exactly. I smile. All right. It's a deal. Transfer me the job. Sil smiles and takes her memory plug out from behind her right ear and handing it to me. Topmost folder coded to my retina. What? Is it in their bodies? I dock the plug into the holo terminal and access it. Sure enough, the topmost folder is Miyashima job 64-1231. As I try to open it, the prompt for a retina scan pops up. Your turn. I move to the side so that Sil can take my place in front of the screen and stare into the prompt. A second later, the folder unlocks. All right, you can grab it now. Sil lets me return to the terminal and I take a quick look at the job. Sure enough, protein folding, 75 gigablips of data, 8,400 Imperial Yen. Everything as she said. I transfer the job file into my personal account and it automatically disappears from Sil's memory plug. An automated message pops up telling me that Miyashima Enterprises have been notified of the change of service provider. All right, Kaz, the job is yours. Now spill the beans. Smiling, I remove Sil's plug from the terminal and hand it back to her. So you want to know. You really want to know what I've been working on at these last months, right? I do, Kaz. And you want me to tell you. Sil bumps her fists into my upper arm. Spill the beans, damn it. All right, so my big secret is I take a deep breath. This is going to be good. Pentasensoric virtual reality. Sill's mouth widens in disappointment. What? But that's not news. That's just plain old Me Too techno... Without the need for a neural implant. Sill's mouth closes again. Her disappointment starts to turning into confusion. What? You heard me. 11th gen virtual reality, but without the need for brain surgery. But that... I don't see... How do you do it? How do you get the information into the optic nerve? Through monomolecular fibers, the same that are used for the cybernetic eye implants. You're routing all the information for 5 entire senses through one single nerve, and the human brain can actually understand that mess? 2 nerves. I use both eyes. Sill is now at a loss for words. It's absolutely beautiful to see her fall apart in disbelief like that. But that would require a data exchange protocol that directly translate VR code into synaptic biofeedback. You're right, it does. Are you saying that you actually... Sill shakes her head in amazement. Yeah, I know. I'm a genius. Sill puts one hand in front of her mouth, then starts smiling madly. You're not already selling shares of that company of yours. What was its name again? VM Soft. But no, I'm not selling shares. If what you're telling me is true, you should. You totally should. I'll consider it. And as soon as you do that, please, Kaz, drop me a line. I totally want to be a part of that. Wow, are you that excited? Of course I am. I mean, what's not to be excited about? This is going to be the next big thing. 11th gen VR for no modders? She might be right about that. There's quite a few people who refuse to modify their body with technology like neuro implants or even brain links. The virtual machine works for anybody, even the unaugmented. I'll drop you a line, Sill, I promise. Thanks. But you probably understand why I didn't just try to get this project crowdfunded, right? Yeah, definitely. So not a word to anybody. Not a word. Understood. I take my cred chip from the holo terminal reader and stand up. Oh, you're going already? Yeah, I just came here to find work for the next few days. Thanks to you, that's taken care of. Sill looks at me with what I think is a bit of disappointment in her eyes. Something wrong? I was hoping that you would stay a little longer. For a drink or something like that. Sorry, Sill, not today. Alright then. Later. See you, Kaz. As I leave the Kitsunagari, it's starting to rain. Figures. Now that the holographic fireworks are over, there's no need to keep the sky cloudless. I start walking a little faster than usual. Not that it's particularly cold. Detroit has seen the last snow a decade before my birth. Wow, that is a long time. They must have really messed up the atmosphere or something. Especially if they can remove clouds. But there might still be residue from the chemicals they use for clearing the sky in the rain. They say these chemicals are harmless, but the corpse say a lot. As I'm just passing a corner. Yo, Kay, wait a minute, will ya? I turn around. Yeah, I turn around. I know that voice, unfortunately. Hey, Watt, how's it hanging? Straight and long, Kay, straight and long. Watt's smiling, but I can see it in his eyes that he's faking it. He's not as well as he's trying to make me think he is. You alright, buddy? You look a little shaky. Nah, Kay, I'm fine. Just peachy. Did you see the fireworks? Sure, Watt. Sure did, Watt. Nice show this year. Damn nice it was. That new Tota's a real beauty, ain't it? Not my type of car. Too big for my tastes. Didn't you read the ads? They bought a new lane just for their Excellence series. 1,650 feet exclusively for thems. Still not my type of car. That's something for stuck-up old execs who are still paying their insurance premiums for the corpse they're married to. Smash the systems, AK. Yeah, smash the system, Watt. Watt awkwardly smiles at me and scratches his head. By the way, Kay. Alright, here it comes. Yeah. You, don't happen to have a little, something for me. I knew it. What? I thought you stopped using it. I did, man, I did. I stopped using it for over 3 months. And now, you're hooked again? I'm not hooked, Kay. I'm definitely not hooked. And then why are you asking me for? I just need a little pick-me-up just to keep me going a little more. Look, Watt, I already told you I can't help you with that anymore. When Kowloon made that hostile takeover of the Michigan Transweb last fall, they cracked down on overdrive source code hard, and No overdrive, Kay. Absolutely no overdrive. No? Then what? Just a little Nova, Kay. One little Nova's enough. Sheesh, I really don't know what to make of that Nova. The last time Watt's been on Nova must have been, 3 years ago? Since then, he's either been clean or on harder data than Nova. I guess this stuff is like drugs, I guess? But it's like weird. It's interesting because it's like bits and stuff. It either means Watt's really getting better or really desperate. Watt sees my hesitation and tries extra hard. Please, Kay, you know how chill I get on Nova. It's really good stuff. Nova's not good stuff, Watt. It fries a few hundred of your brain cells so that you think you're seeing interesting colors. But they are such nice colors. They taste so well in my ears. Yeah, I know, it's hard to see someone suffer like that, especially if he's one of your oldest friends. I can't remember a time when I didn't know Watt. I knew when people still called him Spiff, and I'm probably the only one who got his nose bloodied more than once defending him against people bullying him for having such a lame name. Japanese first names were all the rage back then. It was right after Mashima Heavy Industries had taken over the Detroit government and given everybody a job who wanted one. I mean, my other friends were called Tomo, Hisa, Aya, Chiaki. No one in their right mind would have named their son Spiff. We went to the same preschool together, then through the same elementary school, the same junior high school, the same high school. Then he dropped out because he needed to earn money for his family. When I next saw him, I had finished college, and he was like he is now. He really has nothing. No life, no future, no perspectives whatsoever. Probably not even a steady place to live at unless he's squatting in some ruins again. I can totally understand why he wouldn't want to face the reality of something like that. Still, look, Watt. Please, Kay, you gotta help me. You gotta. I'm not sure I'm helping you if I give you some Nova now. But you have some Nova with you, haven't you? No. Oh. I could code a dose, though. Only takes a minute. 3rd-gen electronics are laughably simple to write. Nothing more than easily taking care of favor. But am I doing Watt a favor by giving him what he wants, or by not giving it to him? Then, if you could just spare $5, I know a guy I know lives just around the corner, and he probably has what I need too, so... Damn, what do I do? I guess in this situation, I would code it myself, because, like, if he's going to some dude, like, you don't know how the dude is coding it, it could be even way worse for him. And if this guy is smart, he would code something that's not as dangerous. I mean, yeah, probably it's still dangerous, but maybe it would be a little safer knowing that it came from us. I don't want to condone it, but but it wouldn't help him, because he would still get $5 and go find some random guy. Oof. I roll my eyes. Oh, for Miyamoto's sake. With a deep sigh, I stand with the back to one of the walls so that I'm mostly shielded from the rain and take my custom-built coding tab from the inside of my jacket. You do have Nova with you! No, I don't, but I can download some for you. Of course, that's a lie. I'd never link my coding tab to the airweb. There's no connection that's easier to hack than an airweb end user link. Instead, I quickly write a small executable that will use Watt's neural implant to directly access a random selection of his brain in a way that it's not intended to access it. That's all there is to it. That's Nova. A cheap brain frying code. Only works once because it's written to kill one very specific section of a brain. And once that section is dead, the same Nova can no longer overstimulate it. I'm done writing it in less than a minute. Okay, hand me your plug. Watt reaches for the back of his head and pulls out a semi-permanent brain implant that's at least 8 years old. Man, these things were huge back then. And you're really doing this? Yeah, I shouldn't, but I am. Thanks, Kay. Don't thank me yet. I attach Watt's implant to my coding pad and copy the Nova to it, erasing it on my own device. No need to leave any traces of it in my work. You'll find yourself a place that's both dry and safe tonight, Watt. Is that clear? Sure, Kay. Crystal clear. You go to that place and make sure you're alone. Lock yourself in. I don't care if it's inside a dumpster, but make sure no one can get to you. Understood? Absolutely. You demand, Kay. Then and only then will you access the data on your implant. Deal? Sure, Kay. He stretches out his hand. Do we have a deal, Watt? We have a deal, Kay. We definitely have a deal. All right, then. I hand the implant over to Watt. Thanks, Kay. You're a really good friend. Don't make me regret it, Watt. I won't, I promise. Watt waves to me, then starts reaching for the back of his head. When he sees me looking at him, he stops. Sorry, reflexes. Instead of putting the brain implant back into its socket, Watt stashes it inside his jacket, and I nod. See you, Watt. See you, Kay! I take a deep breath and continue on the way back to my apartment. Having both met Silver Slip and Watt tonight, I am painfully reminded of how little I actually left my apartment these few weeks. I really didn't have many social contacts in the flesh, so to speak. Not that I didn't have any social contacts whatsoever, mind you. If the rise of VR has brought anything good, it's the fact that people don't have to leave their living rooms in order to meet their friends. Still, even the best current tech cannot entirely replicate the experience of being together with someone else. It just doesn't have that same feel to it. You just know something is a little different without being able to really put your finger on what exactly is wrong. And then there's the issue with time. One thing VR totally wipes out is your sense of time. You think you spent about an hour in there. 4 hours. Gone. It's a side effect of your brain straightening out inconsistencies in the simulation. Some VR providers have decided to have a little clock permanently embedded into your field of vision, but of course that really screws the illusion of being there. Then again, if you really want to have the experience of being somewhere else, the only way is to plug into the Sense Immerse. In a Sense Immerse production, someone's real sensory experiences are recorded through a brain plug, and these sensory experiences are then made available for others. It's the equivalent of being that other person. You experience absolutely everything the way it was for the person whose senses were recorded. The possibilities are endless, especially the possibilities of porn. I quickly put that thought aside. If I were into Sense Immerse, I'd be spending even less time outside of my apartment, not to mention without any contact to real people. That reminds me, I should check if Aya is available. As I start the long walk up 62 flights of stairs, I feel a little guilty. I haven't talked to Aya since Christmas, I think. Not something I'm proud of. Whoa, she's pretty! She's cute! And look at her, like, gems in her hair, and look at her eyes. Oh, cute. Aya's the only childhood friend aside from Watt I still have contact with, which is a little strange since she and I didn't even go to the same schools. The reason why I even know her is that our families were in a business relationship. My father was her father's boss, in a way. It's complicated. In any case, our families spent a lot of time together, and that's how Aya and I got to know each other and how we became friends. And even when our both families perished during the war, we still remained friends. After high school, during the time I went to college, I enrolled into acting school owned by one of the biggest entertainment companies on the continent. Yeah, I know that doesn't mean much since most of the companies reside in Bombay, but still. She quickly got a few roles in VR productions, mostly those of an unattainable female lead in romantic comedies. She's had one action role as tough as nails commando in a forgettable game about the war between Sony and Nintendo, but that didn't last for much more than a month. At least it was some steady money for her. Last year, though, her employment was terminated when she refused to sign a new contract. It was one of those corporate marriage contracts, which are currently all the rage. I think the idea is ridiculous. You legally remarry the corporation you work for. What? As a sign of loyalty, and in return, if you're ever divorced, you may have claims against your former marriage partner. What? Or the corp against you, more times than not. Also, Aya Letflix would have been a terrible name. Haha, it's like Netflix. Since last spring, Aya works as a freelance actress, mostly for indie VR productions, and she has started publishing a Sensimmerse food blog where she goes to restaurants and tries out the menu. I think the episode on prune stuffed nochi has been downloaded over 10,000 times already. I know that she had a small employment as a host for New Year's Eve show today, but if I'm not mistaken, that show would be over by now. Let's see if she's on private VR. Whoa. So that's what this is. Aya, you there? Nothing. Huh. Maybe she's still on her way home. I could try again in an hour or so if she's not asleep by then. Kazu, hey, Happy New Year! Aya runs over and hugs me, and I return the hug. Happy New Year to you too. How was your show?
Phew, I'm beat. I can tell you that. Good things you can't get. Oh wait, hold on. Phew, I'm beat. I can tell you that. Good thing you can't smell me right now.
Huh? Smell?
Yeah, that show I did?
I thought that was a VR show.
No, silly. I told you. Don't you remember? It was the Sylvester presentation for Mike's Car Emporium. It was both flesh and VR.
Ah, so you had to be there.
Yeah, I had to be there in a way too small showroom with way too many other people and under 3 Sunlight lamps. As Mike always says, if no one has to squint, it's not bright enough.
You could have at least used LEDs.
Then people have this weird excuse that they cannot decide whether they like the color of their car or not because they haven't seen it in real light. At least that's what Mike tells me.
I hope at least the money was good.
Yeah, it was nice. Though half of it was Toyen.
Corporate currency.
You gotta understand, Toda sponsored the show. They're massively promoting their new generation of the Excellence series and...
I know. I saw the ads between the fireworks.
Aw, did you record the fireworks?
No, but I bet Toda did. Wouldn't surprise me if you could already download a Sensimmerse off it online.
It was really a shame. I was looking so forward to seeing the fireworks. But then I had to stay in the showroom and sing Should Old Acquaintance Be Forgot? And then I had to hug everybody who wanted a hug, and there were a lot of them.
Oh.
And I only get to hug you online.
Aya looks at me and I'm starting to feel really bad. We really haven't met much these last few days, have we?
No, we haven't. We haven't spent real time since early December, and our last VR was what? Christmas?
Yeah, Christmas.
Wow. No wonder I've missed you so much.
Aya smiles and playfully runs her finger over my chest. I suppose you want to spend a little more time together in the next few days.
If you have a little time to spare?
Smile back at Aya and take her hand. Sure, I do have time. In fact, why don't we log into some nice server right now? Springtime Kyoto Gardens, for example, or pre-war Waikiki Beach. Aya's smile fades a little.
Kazu, this may sound a little awkward after I brought it up myself, but could we do this tomorrow?
Uh-oh.
I'm really tired and really sweaty. I was just about to run off into the shower when I saw you pinging me. And as much as I enjoy a nice virtual swim, what I really need right now is some real water on my skin.
Of course, I understand.
However,
Aya squeezes my hand a little tighter than before.
Why don't we make our next time together some real time?
Sure, why not? We haven't met in the flesh for almost a month now.
When are you free next?
Why don't we meet tomorrow around noon? We could have lunch somewhere and then go for a walk.
Eating out?
Sure, why not? Aya's smile looks a little pained now.
Kazu, I eat out all the time for my food blog. Going to a restaurant always feels like work to me.
Oh.
Can't we just meet at your place, noon, and have a bite there?
Oh, frick. I hope the panic I'm feeling right now doesn't show in my eyes. Yeah, sure. No problem at all. Bro, why would you say that? Have you seen your apartment?
Great, let's do that.
Aya stands on her toes and gives me a little peck on the cheek.
See you in a few hours then.
Yeah, see you. With a bright smile, Aya waves to me and then she's offline. I, too, log out and take a look around my apartment. Oh, this is his apartment. Well, it sure looks like this night isn't quite over yet. I spend the next hour picking up trash from several corners of my apartment and from underneath my furniture. And after I stuffed it into 2 trash bags, I quickly programmed my cleaner drone for a full disinfectant sweep. Fortunately, there's a public incinerator just around the corner of my block, but in the time it takes for me to walk downstairs, over to the incinerator, back to the house, back up the stairs, the drone should be done with the toxic disinfectants. Wait, so that's outside of his apartment, but this is what his apartment looks like? That's crazy. My calculations are right, though when I get back, I find out the drone's AI has decided pretty much all my rooms need another pass and continues to clean up, whirring and hissing through every corner. Since sleep isn't quite possible under these conditions, I sit down on my home terminal and open my jobs account. The one job Silver Slip gave me is the only thing in there right now, protein folding, and I begin working on it. Protein folding is pretty much like solving a puzzle. You have to use predetermined folding moves to make one shape exactly match another shape in as few moves as possible. It's essential to work for pharmaceutical research. If you find out a good combination, then someone can design a chemical formula that folds a real protein the same way you fold a theoretical one. And that real folded protein may be the one that decides whether it's cancer or not. That's crazy. Among the pharmaceutical corporations of the world, Miyashima is one of the nicer players. It's not quite a megacorp, and it does a lot of humanitarian work, like mass-producing cheap generic medication for people without medical insurance. It's also a rarity insofar as it's still owned by its founder, and not some trust of investors. Also, even though they have their own money, they have regularly offered payment in Imperial Yen, one of the 6 non-corp currencies that is still accepted by pretty much everywhere. That's a big plus in my book. I spend the next 2 hours going through the folding problems, finding a 9-move solution to one of them. Still, the job requires a solution in only 7 moves, so I have to work on that a little more. But by now I'm too tired for that, and it's 4 a.m, so I set my alarm clock and off to bed it is. Ooh, okay. So we just ended our first day in the demo. This is actually surprisingly a lot longer for a demo than I expected, but I guess that's what I would expect out of a dating sim. So I think that's where we're going to leave off for now. So far, I think this is really interesting. I do like the introduction of characters. You kind of get some background and, not just on the characters, but like you get these subtle slips of also historical context as you meet the characters, which I think is really interesting. Like there was a war that I'm definitely more interested in learning about. I'm interested in how the currencies work, like the fact that there's multiple different currencies that are being used in one area. Just the environment changes and how the world works in this time frame I think is super interesting, and I'm definitely interested in playing some more of this, and I would love to hear what you guys think about this as well. So let me know in the comments below what you guys thought. If you guys want to see another one, I would love to post another one up. And if you liked the video, leave a big thumbs up down below. This music is so depressing as I'm doing this. But yeah, just leave a like down below and subscribe if you want to see more videos. I post new videos on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.